Once upon a time, deep in the heart of a whispering wood, lived a young girl with hair as bright and shining as the midday sun. Her name was Goldilocks. And because of her radiant locks, everyone in the village called her by that very name. As she skipped merrily along the path, her golden hair bouncing with each step, she suddenly came across a small cottage hidden amongst the trees. The cottage was quaint and charming, with a chimney that puffed out wisps of smoke and the windows glowed with warmth and light. Curiosity got the better of her, and she couldn't resist the urge to peek inside. One day, while the sun was high in the sky, Goldilocks decided to venture into the woods behind her house. It was her favorite place to explore and discover. To her luck, there was a bedroom with 3 beds. Pushing open the heavy curtains, she looked around. Ahem, she said, trying the biggest bed. This one is too hard. She lay down on the medium bed. And this one is too soft. Finally, she tested the smallest bed and whispered, "This is just right." And before she knew it, she had fallen fast asleep. Taking a deep breath, she pushed the door open and stepped inside. There was a big, burly Papa Bear with a booming voice, a gentle Mama Bear with a loving heart, and a cute baby bear who was always getting into mischief. Who could have done such a thing? Just then, they heard a loud yawn coming from under the blanket. Startled, they watched as a young girl with hair like spun gold climbed out of Baby Bear's bed. The 3 bears were returning home from a long walk when they heard a crash coming from the direction of their cottage. "I'm Goldilocks," she stammered, "and I'm so sorry for eating your porridge and breaking your chair in bed." "Because it was too hot or too cold," explained Goldilocks, "but yours was just right. But please be more careful in the future. But in the future, please knock on the door first and ask if you can come in before entering our house." "I'm sorry," said Goldilocks, her eyes downcast. "I won't do it again." "Goldilocks, why did you sleep in Baby Bear's bed?" "Because it was just right," replied Goldilocks, blushing. She had made some wonderful new friends and learned an important lesson about respecting other people's belongings. Do you like the story of Goldilocks and the 3 bears? Which character was your favorite? Tell me in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified when I publish a new video. Now close your eyes, make a wish, and click on one of these two magical storybooks to continue reading more enchanting tales. And remember, a new magical story awaits you in every fairy tale forest. Until next time, sweet dreams. From that day on, whenever she wanted to explore the Whispering Wood, she would always bring a snack with her and never, ever enter someone's house without knocking first. "And it's so cozy in here," she added shyly. "I'm very sorry," apologized Goldilocks. "I didn't mean to break it." "Well," said Baby Bear thoughtfully, "that's all right. I have plenty of porridge for all." To her surprise, the cottage was empty, but there was something on the table that caught her eye, 3 bowls of steaming porridge. "I don't know," replied Papa Bear, his deep voice rumbling. They talked and laughed, and Goldilocks learned that Baby Bear loved honey more than anything. Before long, it was time for Goldilocks to go home. She thanked the bears for their hospitality and promised to visit again soon. "Someone has been eating my porridge," he grumbled. Mama Bear looked at her own bowl. "And someone has been eating mine too," she said softly. She was just a little girl who had stumbled upon their home by accident. Baby Bear whimpered when he saw his bowl. "Someone ate all of my porridge," he cried. "Now, since you're hungry, how about we share some more porridge with you?" "That sounds lovely," replied Goldilocks, her spirits lifting. "But let's go and check it out." As they approached their house, they saw that the front door was slightly open. "Oh, dear," said Mama Bear, "it looks like someone has been inside our house." Goldilocks was quite hungry, having skipped breakfast in her haste to go exploring. The smell of the porridge was simply too good to resist. Papa Bear roared. "Someone has been sitting in my chair and broke it," he bellowed. Mama Bear tried to calm him down. "Let's not be angry, my love. Let's look for clues," she suggested. But Baby Bear was inconsolable. "Someone broke my chair," he wailed. Goldilocks tiptoed to the front door. It was slightly ajar, as if inviting her to come in. Papa Bear noticed that his bed was rumpled. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," he growled. Mama Bear checked her bed. "And someone has been sleeping in mine," she whispered. Baby Bear looked at his bed and burst into tears. "Someone is still sleeping in my bed," he sobbed. "Oh my," she exclaimed. "It's too hot." She then switched to the middle bowl. "And this one is too cold," she said, blowing on it to try and warm it up. Finally, she tasted the porridge from the smallest bowl and her eyes lit up. "Ah, this is just right," she said with a contented sigh. And she ate every last drop. She approached the table and took a spoonful of the porridge from the largest bowl. With her tummy full, Goldilocks started to feel sleepy. She glanced around the room and noticed 3 comfortable-looking chairs. Thinking they would be perfect for a little nap, she went over and sat down in the biggest chair. "Oh," she yawned, "this chair is a bit too hard." She moved to the medium-sized chair and sighed. "This one is too soft and bouncy." She settled into the smallest chair and said with a smile, "This one is just right." But alas, the chair was old and creaky. It wasn't meant to hold anyone's weight, especially not Goldilocks. With a loud crack, the chair broke into pieces and she tumbled to the floor. Still feeling tired, she decided to go to the next room. Meanwhile, back in the forest, deep in their cave, lived a family of bears. "What was that noise?" asked Mama Bear, her eyes wide with worry. The 3 bears cautiously entered the cottage. Papa Bear noticed that his bowl of porridge was empty. They then went to the chairs to find out who their uninvited guest was. The bears searched the house for answers, but it wasn't until they reached the bedroom that they found the truth. The bears were shocked and confused. "Who are you?" demanded Papa Bear, his eyes flashing. Goldilocks was terrified. She had never seen anything like these big, furry creatures before. Baby Bear stopped crying and asked, "Why did you eat all my porridge?" Papa Bear cleared his throat. "Yes, well, about the chair," he began. "It can be fixed." Mama Bear, who had been silent until now, spoke in a gentle voice. The bears exchanged amused glances. It seemed that Goldilocks had a habit of testing things and declaring them just right. But they couldn't stay mad at her. "We understand why you did what you did," said Papa Bear with a smile. "We believe you, Goldilocks," said Mama Bear, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder, and so the 3 bears and Goldilocks shared a pot of warm porridge together as she walked away. She couldn't help but smile, and that is the story of Goldilocks and the 3 bears.